everybody, due to the extremely one-sided poll that I posted earlier today, I don't know if this video is going to come out today or not, but because of that poll, I have made a Spino video for you guys, just showing you the best builds. I recorded this with Foxy, actually, which he's a much better Spino player than I am. We're both pretty good at Spino, but he's more experienced with the dinosaur. He plays it a lot more than I do. So he was able to give me some tips, some tricks, some good ideas on like different builds to use, some tips on like turning and things during fights. So I get some really good insight from a really good Spino player. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoy this video. The first part of this video is just going to be like some PvP clips on Amber, fighting like mixed packs and things like that, because, nobody on that server can, fight without a giant group, unfortunately. It sucks, but, that's how they're encouraged to play, but that's a topic for a different video. Just the state of Path of Titans PvP and just like the state of the game, but I'll just let the PvP go and I will start yapping again once we get to the builds. So in this video, or in this clip, where I'm fighting the Giga, I use this build in a few of the clips. It's a hybrid build between the standard build you should run, which is just bite, and then claw and everything else. I'll pop up a picture up screen. But you can use lunging snap, which is usually what I use like in my standard Spinosaurus builds when I'm playing on semi-realisms. But for PvP, you're going to want to use normal bite. Okay, so for this fight with the Giganotosaurus, I'm going to start using hooked snap, which I will showcase in a few fights here. And hooked snap, you're going to want to use that when you're fighting something faster than you. Things that are faster than you and similar to you in size, like Kark, Titan, it might be able to work on Giga. I don't really know, but I think with Giga, you're just going to want to max out your damage with your bite attack and cycling that with your claw attack, and just face tanking it with your defense buffs. But with like Titan, Kark, Acro, things like that, you're gonna want to use your hooked snap. It works like a heavy bite. It doesn't cost any stamina, but it's super delayed. But it does, I think, 80 damage, which is the same as T-Rex's charge bite. But it has a 5-second cooldown. And it gives your opponent a debuff as well that makes them slower. And it stacks. So just be mindful of that. That's really useful for fighting things faster than you. Okay, so in this fight, I'm going to be running Hooked Snap and Claw Attack like I was in those other fights that you just saw, but this time against a Fracture Build T-Rex. And even though the Fracture Build T-Rex isn't that great at fighting Spinos, you're about to see why Hooked Snap is really not something you want to run against T-Rex on dried land. Now, Hooked Snap is decent to use against T-Rex. I've done it, Foxy's done it, but it's just not as good as other builds. Just watch this. Okay, I'm gonna include a few fights. They might be a bit out of order, but fights like this one with PT Rex, if the PT Rex is running Charge Bite, like a full damage build, there's not much Spino can do about it. I mean, you can if you play like skilled enough, but like if you let the PT Rex get one Charge Bite off, you're basically dead. Like PT Rex damage build is really gonna mess up a Spino because it doesn't give you the status effect armor buff that you would be getting if you were fighting a Pot Rex. Here's another fight that you're just kind of gonna lose no matter what build you run. DB Giga, no matter what's going on, is just gonna slap your shit like an uncooked turkey. There's really nothing you can do against DB Giga. Its hitboxes are all over the place and it has spammable knockback and dozens of armor abilities, and it can heal itself, and it's faster, and it has bleed, and it has consistent damage, and it has good turning, and it has knockback on its tail attack, and it has stomps. See what I mean? Like, DB Giga is just gonna destroy a Spino. Now, here, I'm running a really strange build. I'm running an Area of Effect build with Claw Slam, but I'm also running Tail Attack and Bite for consistent damage against Para, and that's mainly because Para has a lot of spammable knockback itself, and it's pretty quick. So I figured attacking it from a distance with AoE might be a good strategy, but you can approach this fight with a different build. This isn't like the only build to fight Paras with. Now, EO is pretty simple. Very similar to Rex. If you just run a full defense build with the Spino, and then use Bite, Claw, and Tail Attack, you're just going to easily kill EOs and Spinos because you can just face tank them. They don't do enough damage to bypass all of your defense. So their only strategy is to try and get behind you, and with Spino's good turning, that's really difficult. So as long as you can keep them in front of you, a damage build Rex or a damage build EO is not going to be able to kill you. Okay, this is an interesting one. Hooked Snap and Claw Slam is basically just a Stego counter. If you're struggling with Stegos and you want to go out hunting them, run this build. They can't stop you. Like, there's nothing Stego can do against this build. It's that strong. This is a painful one. So, the thing is about Anno, don't fight them. Do not fight Annos. They will destroy you. I mean, it'll be a close fight no matter how you slice it. But Annos are just way too tanky, and they do so much damage. And they can use Tenderize to their advantage, which, again, I think should also be on T-Rex, but that's a different video. Their Fracture is also super useful because of the Tenderize mechanic. And they're just really, really good at capitalizing on just breaking your legs, and they can spam like really high damaging tail slam attacks that also do knockback. So yeah, Annos are a tough sell. You're probably not going to kill them. Okay, the average bars you might be able to kill with a Spino, but a bars that knows what it's doing is just going to destroy you. I wouldn't recommend going after bars. They're really tanky, just as tanky as you. Even if they aren't as tanky as you, they do so much damage with their tail attacks, and they can just like run back and forth, tail attack, tail sweep, stop, kick you away, and then rinse and repeat until they kill you. There's really not much you can do about it, to be honest. If you're gonna go after bars as a Spino, I would have a buddy with you. Okay, everybody, that was it. That was the Spino, or the best Spino builds video that you guys wanted so bad. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found this insightful. I really enjoyed making this video. I'm probably going to make some more best build videos. But yeah, that's going to be it for this portion of the video. Okay, the Spino stuff is over. Glad you guys enjoyed and everything. But now we need to get serious. The stuff I've been hearing about the Path of Titans Discord and how everybody has been treating the mod developers and the base game developers, I don't care what your opinions are, immature behavior like death threats, anything like that, if I see any of that, you will be permanently banned from both Discords. Both Discords. You'll be muted in the comment sections, most likely blocked, and most likely reported if I catch any of those messages. Now, I understand that all of us, including myself, I will hold myself accountable. I have been very rude about certain mods and updates about this game. But at the end of the day, it is just a game. Death threats or threats of any kind towards developers because they changed or made something that you didn't like is immature and pathetic. And we need to be better. We need to be better than that. I know you guys can be better than that. I have met some really cool people in this community, and nowadays it has gone downhill. It has gone downhill fast, and I think it all started with the Tyrannotitan incident. I don't think I need to tell you what that was. I have my opinions on that, but that is a completely separate issue. I could make another video about this. I might. I'm really considering it. But this is something I felt like I needed to address. This behavior, I'm not going to tolerate it. None at all. This is super pathetic. This is immature, and it needs to stop. Harassing, especially Divine Beast. Divine Beast gets a lot of shit. And I don't know why. Actually, no, I do know why. It's because their mods aren't as high quality as someone like PT or KTO. And that is fine. That is fine, because at the end of the day, this is all free. Now, I don't like some DB mods, and that is perfectly okay. That is my opinion. You might like Cryptops. I think it looks like a walking turd. we can disagree on that. That's fine. But getting this heated is insane. Now, I understand I can get super passionate about this game. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to tell a mod developer to kill themselves because they did something that I didn't like or made something I didn't like. That is unbelievably pathetic. For those of you wondering why we haven't been getting mods as consistently as we used to, this is why. This is why. Because every time a mod comes out, there's always some clown in the comments or in some sort of Discord who is just going on a tirade. Now, I'll explain my feelings as to why I don't like a mod, but I'm not going to do... Okay, if I'm not going to go super into detail, because I want you guys to go out, I want you guys to do your research, I want you to know what's going on, and I want you to support these mod developers, because they do not deserve this kind of treatment. Now, Doc J, for example, I have seen that he is no longer doing Path of Titans content, and his mods will slowly fizzle out because they won't be updated anymore. I think that's a good thing. Because of all the crap he's gotten from this game, he's going on to make his own game with his mod creatures. Those mod creatures that were in the game and are still currently in the game, like Thalas Rex, Goliagor, Madrehorn, Moraquil, things like that. He's putting those in his own game, which I've said this for years, ever since like the Moraquil came out, which I'm pretty sure was his first mod. I think that he's a very talented guy. He does a really good job. His designs are really cool. His ideas are really cool. I just don't think they belong in Path of Titans. I think he should take his talents elsewhere. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. And I am excited to see what he cooks up. And I know you guys probably want like a survival game like this with fantasy mods, and that might be what he's doing. Or not fantasy mods, but like fantasy creatures. And I know Day of Dragons sucks, so he might be making a better Day of Dragons. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, support your mod developers, show them love, and just be a good person, be a decent person, be respectful, be kind. I feel like that goes without saying, but nowadays common sense no longer exists. And we need to have conversations like this. Oh my god, I sound like a parent. I sound like a dad talking to... I sound like a disappointed father talking to my misbehaving son. But it's unfortunate because we do need to have these conversations, because there's some people who just don't understand how to be a decent person. They don't understand how to like be respectful. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been a saint. I have not. And that is on me. That is completely on me, and I take full responsibility. I need to do better. I get heated over little things for various reasons. We all know this. And there's plenty of you guys out there who are similar or have done something similar. At the end of the day, we're all human. This is a game, and we need to be respectful to each other. We need to be kind. Now, I'm not saying glaze every single mod that comes out. If you don't like it, come up with your own constructive criticism and tell that to the mod developers. That way, they can make it better, and they can listen to the community, and they can make things the way how we want. Because at the end of the day, they're making it for us. These mod developers are making these mods for free, by the way. They cost hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars to make, and they're all for you and me to enjoy. So at the end of the day, just be kind people, please. Please. That's all I'm asking. And I can't wait to see what's in store in the future for this game. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to distance myself from the game. I still love this game, and I want it to be better. But like the community, man. You guys are very polarizing. Now, I haven't seen too much of this in my community, which is good. It's very good. I haven't seen any of you guys doing any of this stuff, which please keep it that way. You guys have been extremely cool. We can have civil discussions in the Discord about things we like and dislike about the game. That's totally fine. But we need to do it in a way that is respectful to the people who put in the hard work, time, and money to make these things. And then go from there. Like, every time I come up with, like, an issue I have with the game, or with something that either a mod developer does or a base game developer does, I'll usually come up with some constructive criticism. Like, instead of this, how about we do this? You know, things like that. Like, I keep talking about, like, okay, Titan could use some damage buffs, so maybe a slight cooldown reduction on its juke and dash. T-Rex could use a slight damage buff and then a nerf to killing blows and then give it tenderize, things like that, little small things to make things better. Just pitching your ideas and using constructive criticism. But yeah, I just wanted to address this at the end of this video because it's something really big that's been happening lately, and I figured I needed to talk about it. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. And yeah, peace out, y'all. God bless.